Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Today, joining me and back to the show, Ian Sells. Ian was back on here, I think it was last year. He did a guest slot with Isabella Hamilton. Ian, how's things?
Things are great, thank you. Yeah, that was a fun one when she was up there.
Definitely, definitely. For those who may not be aware of you of the Seller Sessions audience or haven't listened to that podcast with Isabella, do you want to give a little bit of background on yourself?
Yeah, my name's Ian Sells. I'm the founder of Million Dollar Sellers, which is a group of really high level sellers. You have to do 1 million plus to get into the group. About 600 sellers now, and over $7 billion in sales annually comes through our group. So pretty high level there. And that was built out of my running of my Amazon business that I sold to Thrasio a couple of years ago. And from this group, I've been able to build a couple of different software tools that really help Amazon sellers market and scale their businesses, because I know so much about what it takes to be a high level seller.
Excellent, great. So today, what are we talking about?
Today we're going to talk about UGC content, how to optimize your listings. Really go tactical. Talk about the ideas of how to use this stuff for your video ads and whatnot, and potentially get into how we make it easier for you.
Okay, sounds good. Let's kick things off. Where do you want to start?
Let's start right at the top, right? Let's talk about Amazon listings and using stock photos and how to working with influencers or finding these content creators to produce content, or even hiring a studio, right, to build content for your listings. It can be complicated, it takes time, but that's the way to do it. And that's what real brands are doing to build that brand affinity and connect with their customers, right?
Yeah. Cool. Let's get underway then, because one of the things we should point out at the very beginning is the difficulties is what do you do after, because we have to go through a funnel, right? You've got to find the right influencers. Let's discuss all the elements, because once you've used an influencer once, which is great, where does the next one come from? So It's the outreach and stuff. We'll cover that at the top of the show, but let's just go through the process of, everyone knows how to contact influencers and stuff, but let's talk about the content side and the conversion side, because I think what happens is, I think once someone got the pre-exhaust kicked in of finding influencers, they forget about the creative. They'll kind of put it on the influencer to guide that. Obviously they give them the product and they go, can we do this, do that? But they're more reliant on what the creative comes out, whether it's unboxing, etc.
Yeah, so it's on the brand owner generally to give some level of information to the creator on what they want, the bullet points and stuff. So the less you give, the more likely the content's going to come back not the way you like it, right? Yeah. And so you really have to understand what it is that you're going to try and emulate, right? And so we always suggest that you get examples that you find on the internet and show those to the creators that you find and reach out to, right? And so it's really a balancing act, because when you're trying to do UGC or authentic looking content versus studio produced content, it is supposed to look authentic. It's not supposed to look scripted. And so you have to balance that with what, you might think you need this really nicely produced video, and that may not be what actually works in the end of the day. Yeah.
Now it's interesting, because obviously you want to get the best product as possible. Like you said, there's, if you do conversion optimization, I've used this example, I think it's about 2 years ago, that you can have the best looking site in the world, but the functionality could be poor. So the conversion rate is poor.
Right.
But then you can have a shitty looking website, but for some bizarre reason it converts. And this is why all of this stuff should be tested. What do you think are the benefits of the different points of view, in the sense that you go and you speak to an influencer? When is the right time to make it look like user generated content versus something's highly produced by the same influencer?
It definitely depends on what your goals are, but like you said, a shitty looking site can convert really well, and that might be what the audience is looking for. And to you it looks bad, but to the audience it might be wow, this is exactly what I'm looking for. This is the energy, the feel, right? The connection that I'm looking for. And then just like videos, right? A highly produced video that you think looks really great because you paid a lot of money for this model and you paid a lot of money for the script writer and all this stuff, doesn't convert as well as somebody that does some slapstick comedy on TikTok and your video goes viral, right? So it really depends on how the audience that you're targeting, and what they're looking for. But also tricking them into seeing something different that they don't normally see about your product, right? A use case that is unique, or a way that this makes you feel. And that's how you actually build those connections versus just demonstrating, how to make this work, right?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So what about in terms of, I think when we last talked about the brief on this off call, you were talking about some of the benefits with the user-generated content and how you stack it in listings. Should we go there before we move into further areas?
Sure. Yeah. So at Join Brands, we help people get UGC quickly, right? And so by doing that, we've kind of put together kind of a case study on how you really find 9 different areas where you can actually apply UGC that many brands are not doing. And so if you do this, you might be able to really increase your conversion rates, and many sellers actually do increase their conversion rates because they're showing real users using their products versus stock photography where they have their designer just plant a product right in their hand when it doesn't look quite realistic, or it's not quite the right dimensions, right? And so by using customers that are creators that look like your customers, you might be able to connect better and have higher conversion rates because people can visualize themselves using the product the way that person is doing so.
Yeah. How would you pre-plan that? Like you said, you've got 9 slots. What would you sit down and what should a seller should be thinking about? Yeah, I can fill 9 slots. They can all be, look like customers. But what else can be done is because they can't all really look the same, right? So do you have a plan or a pattern to follow? So it makes it that journey makes it more interesting and more dynamic.
Yeah, when I didn't say 9 spots, there's 9 places on your Amazon listing page and within the Amazon ecosystem that you could really apply these techniques to. So I'll just list them out really quick, and we can go into detail on any one of them if you want. But using a bunch of UGC images in your main image stack is really important. You can say 10,000 happy customers and use the images that you get from these UGC creators in order to showcase those 10,000 happy customers, right? You can use UGC videos that you create. So a video in that image stack can be used, or you could take 3 or 4 of those together and put them together and make it look like a montage of, UGC video that you would have clipped from TikTok, let's say. Right. And that can showcase how it goes viral. You can put the UGC videos in these other videos on your listing. So you can take up real estate by adding videos to your listing from a public page. And what that does is it takes up some real estate. So that way your competitors' videos aren't showing up on your listing. You can have your video showing there, and then also your videos might show on your competitors' listing. So if you're not taking advantage of that, you're missing out on prime real estate. Another one is in the question and answer section. So a lot of people just answer the questions that customers ask. If you didn't know, you can use a video to do that. And that's going to take up a lot of space on the listing page. And so it actually allows you to have, I think, up to 4 videos will show there. So imagine how much real estate that takes up in the question and answer section. It actually makes it really big. And so people are seeing more of your responses. You can use UGC creators or your own videos to answer those questions. We highly recommend that. Number 5 is images in your brand story. So utilizing not just stock photography to tell your story, but utilize real customers. Here's somebody that had bad skin and they use this product. Here's somebody that had a kid and they love playing in the bath now with their bath toys, right? And so if you use those real images, not some studio photography, it really builds that connection with the audience that you're trying to tap into, and they can visualize their kids doing the same. UGC photos in your A+ content, obviously no brainer, kind of like the image stack, right? Add some more images, show people using it in different ways, not just stock photography. And this will set you apart from the other listings that are out there because most people aren't taking the time to go find influencers, find creators, reach out to them, send them products, negotiate contracts, get the contract signed, pay them, get the, and get the products back or what have you. So it takes a lot of work. Another one is the UGC images in your video and storefront. So basically on your A+, on your brand page, you should be using a video of UGC or images to really connect when people visit the brand page. And number 8 is in your video ads. So we could talk about video ads and how do you maximize conversion. If you're just using some sort of studio produced video that, it's got words coming up on the screen and the product's just spinning in 3D or whatnot, that may not be enough to really increase your conversion rate, which is actually causing you to have higher ACoS, right? And higher TOPs. And then finally, this one is, most people aren't doing this, is utilizing Amazon posts, right? It's free traffic, and the UGC images have been proven to produce higher click-through rates. on Facebook ads, on TikTok ads, whatnot. So if you're not doing that, you can do up to 3 posts a day on your Amazon post, and that's free traffic that you're getting. And we're seeing people that can get thousands and thousands of clicks a month for free. And those clicks, obviously, if your CPC is $1 or $2 on Amazon ads, it adds up. It's really underutilized for sure.
Yeah. So let's go into video ads. So do you want to go more of a technical level or some tips here for video ads?
We can just talk about video ads if you want. I mean, it's something that has, came out maybe 2 years ago about. People are able to use these display ads on Amazon. So when you're searching for a product, there's these ads at the top generally, and then there's like maybe about 6 or 7 spaces down, you'll see a video ad. And that ad is usually like, somebody showing the product in use, right? You want to really like showcase how that product is used in daily life. And so, most sellers or most, companies will go and hire a professional, create a video, right? And then that will cost you, $1,000, $500, whatever it costs you. And generally you have one video, one shot at it, right? And so this is the thing that people don't do is they don't test out what videos are producing higher click-through rates and higher conversions, right? Because if you can just increase your click-through rate, a few percentage points, right? It's going to increase your conversions dramatically. Or if you can increase your the amount of clicks that you're getting, right? By having more like on less impressions, again, same thing, like you're going to have better ACoS, right? So by not just taking one video and going, this is my one video for this product, like actually thinking about it like as if you're doing testing on Amazon, on Facebook, and you would actually have multiple videos that you would try out to see which ones do well. And with UGC, generally you can get a video done for a lot less. And you can even take multiple videos and put them together to showcase like all these customers that are using it and how they're using it, right? Imagine 10 different people cleaning their car with a vacuum, right? And showing one's got kids, one's got pets, one just likes a really clean car, one's putting it away. And it really tells the story, right? Versus just one studio produced, video that all looks the same. You kind of go, oh, I don't care what happens next, right? You want to make that, that connection.
Yeah, I think people get locked into how pretty the video looks, making sure that, and you want good production, the best you can get, and then selecting the music and stuff. And the amount of these videos I've seen where's the hook? Yeah. And why is it not in the first 3 seconds? And how are you going to get the hook in the first 3 seconds? You've got to imagine we are now moving towards bite-sized chunks in content. This is why when TikTok came out, you see the emphasis that of Reels, which you have on Instagram, and then obviously YouTube Shorts as well. Obviously, TikTok's eaten pretty much everyone for breakfast. I mean, even if you look at over in the US, in Silicon Valley, most of the complaints against TikTok is because a lot of their ad revenue has been pulled over to TikTok. It's Chinese owned, right? From my understanding, Asia owned. And that they'll talk about government problems and they're doing this and they're doing that, which is all the shit that they're doing themselves. It's just that TikTok's got a better algorithm for that and have lost a bit of ground on it. And because of people's behaviors, you've done it before. I still do it now and I try and pull away. But, it's the flick. So what's happening is creating new patterns. They're reaching in and tapping into your dopamine, right? And it's shortening your attention span. So if you can think about when you're doing a video, think about the hook and how fast you personally flick through TikTok yourself, right? Because you become more impatient. You could do a 15-second reel, but people might only watch 8 seconds because they go, well, I know it's going to finish soon and I need to get to the next reel because I need the next dopamine hit. Yeah. So if you can think about it from that sense, look at the way that people's behaviors are, and focus on the hook. Yes, the production's got to be good and everything else, but you could have an empty video with no hook. The hook is everything. Right. And you need to get it in the first 3 seconds.
So instead, if you're selling a pet urine remover, right, you might just say, and you might just show somebody spraying something or whatever, but that's not really interesting. Maybe it's a dog walking on and just taking a leak right in front of you on the carpet. Okay, now you want to know what happens. Is the owner going to get upset? Are they going to clean it up? Is it going to, create a mess or whatnot? So literally using different ways of thinking about how you're going to catch somebody's attention, 10 ways to do X, right? Or and then there's things on TikTok where they're like, okay, in your video, actually have something weird happening. Like imagine if a mouse ran behind me right now, right? Everybody would be like, what's about to happen in this video versus, us talking right now. So kind of coming up with unique things is what usually sends things to get more attention, more virality, because they're like, dude, you got to watch what happens in this video. It's so funny, right? It's like a newscaster reporting on the rain, but then they zoom back and he's just standing in a little puddle, right, with an umbrella and somebody's shooting water. Like there's no rain there, so you got to kind of trick their minds to get them to stick around longer, and then they get, involved in the story that you're telling. Yeah,
indeed. Cool. So let's move on to some of the problems that people face with scaling this. When I talk, about it in a cyclic motion, meaning is that you use an influencer, it goes really well, great conversions, but you've used them once. You can't go back to the well straight away. Why? Same audience. So you're going to get diminishing returns. Then you've got to go, well, where's the next one? Ideally, what you'd like is to have 12 equally or better than each other that you can use on rotation once a month over a year, because then you can go back and see if their audience is grown to help in terms of getting the return on your investment that you desire. What are some of the things that you're doing now with how you've set it up to your program, and what are you doing to cater for that?
Yeah, so on Join Brands, we kind of have like UGC creators and micro influencers and influencers that are large as well. But basically, like, it's kind of like an Upwork, right? So you as a brand would post a job, and then creators apply to your job, and you get to pick and look at their portfolios, check out their TikTok accounts, and pick the ones that you want to work with, right? So you might find ones that, maybe you sell a baby toy. So you're looking for moms that have a kid, right? And they have an audience they're posting already content about moms, whatnot. So that's what you can find on Join Brands. And what we've done kind of is like simplify the process, because what I was doing in my brand was basically I had a VA full-time reaching out on Instagram and TikTok, right? And trying to get in touch with these people and offering them like free jobs, or I'll pay you to do something. And then I'd send them some products, and then some of them would disappear and things like that. So it was a very complicated process, and then negotiate rates, and then get a contract signed so I can use that content and they don't sue me later on, which is a huge issue we could talk about. But so that's kind of where the idea of Joint Brands came from. So through the platform, we handle all the payments, we handle all the contracts, all that stuff, and you're just able to quickly pick and find the ones that you want. And so, to me, the difference between a UGC creator and an influencer, there's not much, right? Because every creator like has an audience. They're creating content for their audience. They're just not like a big influencer yet. So like your wife or your daughter or whatever might be a micro influencer already, right? Because they have influence in their sphere of influence, like their circle. So to me, they're one and the same. And so I treat like creators just like micro influencers. And if I find the right ones, they're good at content. It's also good to go back to the same people too. Why? Because it takes a number of touch points for somebody to commit to buying something generally, right? If you see your friend wearing a certain shirt multiple times and you're like, that's a nice shirt, every time he wears it, you're gonna be like, I should get that shirt, right? And
so what I meant by that is that, like when you do your main splash with the audience, what you're talking about is, let's say it's a strategy where it's a series of posts, right? In that group, in that time. What I was talking about, let's just say that you wanted to do the same thing, a one-off shoot for the stars, but do that weekly or monthly. The chances are your conversion rates are going to go down, right? Because the fatigue and reach, right? Because the audience has seen it. But I think what you're talking about is having a campaign and a strategy that is all built in together with multiple touch points for that same influencer. Yeah, got you. Yeah, I just want to differentiate that so the audience understood. Yeah.
So there's not one right way, right? So
of course not.
I've done some research and wrote an article about how brands are going viral. So you don't, on like TikTok, you don't need to have somebody else doing your product to go viral. A brand actually can go viral too, but again, you have to do something unique, and it also takes a lot of shots, right? There's no science, there's no like SEO to it. Like you really have to kind of play the trends. You have to create a lot of content and continuously post it, even if the content is the same. So a lot of people can take content that they get on Joint Brands, and then they just keep reposting it on Instagram. They can clip out some of the clips, right, and make a mashup and do these different things. But it's all the same content. They're just reusing it over and over and over. And then like with micro influencers, so with Joint Brands, we're actually getting ready to launch a new feature, which is going to allow you to basically do like $20 TikTok. So basically, kind of like product seeding, where you're basically giving your product out to a lot of people. The reason is that TikTok takes a lot of effort, and you don't know if somebody that has a lot of followers or little followers is going to go viral, right? It's all about how the video is done and the hook. So you can give some examples of videos that you like, and then you can go pick 20, 30, 40, 50 different people on Join Brands to do TikTok videos for you for about $20. And they will go ahead and all create videos, and then you can even boost those videos with Spark Ads later on. So it's about getting a lot of content, not the high produced content. So we're trying to make it really affordable and fast and scalable for brands to really go fast at it.
So on average, what does, so obviously you've got the creators and you've got the brands. From the brand side, when they're deploying on your platform, what do they tend to do? Do they do like groups? Do they do a 3-month run and then they'll use 6 influencers across those 3 months and cross pollinate? Or are they single shots because it's around the launch? How does it normally work?
Yeah, it really depends. I mean, some are just doing consistent like content. They want the postings. They want people to post Instagram. They want people to post on TikTok. And it just like and then they'll go on their page and then go, you might have seen us going viral on TikTok, right? So they're creating their own virality, and then they're announcing to the world that they're going viral. So it's kind of like this fun game that they're playing. And then, people are able to get images, like selfie images of people holding a product going, I love this product, right? For about $15 per image, which is really cheap. And so what they'll do is they'll create these montages, but in the beginning of your listing, it's really hard to have UGC images, right? For your products. You don't have enough people, and you may only have like a few samples. So with Join Brands, you can get that done really fast, right? And so when your listing goes up on Amazon, you already have, even if you have no reviews, you can say loved by thousands of customers and show images of people holding that product, whether it's supplements or creams. I mean, we have tons of supplement sellers, creams, using us because it's very demonstratable. It's very like UGC friendly, right? But even like if you're looking for, a doctor or somebody in a doctor's outfit, or like, a mom or somebody that likes to workout equipment, right? You can find those people through Join Brands very simply.
Yeah. So I want to quickly pivot here, go back to your point. And could you give some scenarios, for sellers that have fell into that position where they haven't got the contracts covered? What are some of the scenarios here? What could happen?
Yeah, so I've heard horror stories and read them about like brands that will like see their product go viral, let's say on TikTok or Instagram, and then they'll take that content and use it for their own ads, right? And then they get sued because they don't have the rights to that video, even though it has their product in it, right? So on the internet, the creator of content owns it, and they have rights to it, whether or not they file for patents or trademarks or whatever, right? Copyrights. They own that, the original poster. So that's why it's important to get contracts signed by people before you use their content, even if you paid them, right? So, because they can come back. So with Join Brands, that's part of the thing we solve is the contracts all happen in terms of service, just like you would on, Upwork, when you own, and stuff and Fiverr and things like that. But brands really need to be careful because they might have an employee that sees some content and thinks it's really great, and then they take it and they use it, and then that brand gets sued for, $500,000 when they could have made that video for, $50.
Yeah. Interesting. Is there anything else we've missed that we need to cover off before we go?
Yeah, I think there's an opportunity here to really take advantage of TikTok. There's something called Spark Codes. Are you familiar with Spark Codes?
No, I'm not. Actually.
Okay, so Spark Codes is like whitelisting with like on Instagram. Basically, what it does is like when you have video content made on Join Brands, right? You can you're paying for the content and the creator to post on their own TikTok account. Okay. Yeah. So when they post on their TikTok account, it actually creates this like unique code. And if you get that code from that creator, you can run ads through your account, right? But under their profile. So it looks like they're actually the post. Okay.
So it validates it in terms of the ad because it looks like it's coming directly from the influencer, but you're paying the checks. You're paying the car payment.
You're showing the whole ad from your platform. Okay.
Right.
And what that means is that I can have you do some video for me. I can take that code, put it into my ad account, and I can run ads to anybody I want on TikTok. And with TikTok, you can actually target people who interact with certain hashtags or have certain interests. So anybody who hashtag mom life, I can run my mom video ad on some other creator's account to that audience, and I can pick whatever URL I want to send them to. So
how does the likes and the comments work? Could like you got shared content, meaning is that you can do a shared content. Someone shares something from your account on Instagram, for instance. Like I'll do some stuff with a brand called Gravity, some my Men Plus 40 stuff. And basically they share across, and then what you'll do is you sign off the creative. They're putting it out, but you did the work to create it. They're just putting it out through their account. So that's one way of doing.
Right.
But with the Sparks codes, if that's as I understand it, called it,
yeah,
you're running the ads against their account, but where does the conversation start and end? You know, it's because it shows their profile, but where do they click through to? Is it back to the creator's account and the conversation in the comments take place there?
So yeah, so all the comments happen on the creator's account. So the creator is the video, has the video on their page that is actually gaining views and clicks and likes and comments, right?
Yeah.
So it's not on your account, right? And so what that means is that that video to that creator is actually going, in their case, generally going more viral than any of their other videos because it's getting more views. So they'll likely pin it to the top of their account, right? So now all of a sudden you're getting more functionality, and more clicks through from that. But the creator is actually interacting with the comments because it's their video.
Yeah,
okay?
And it's in their interest because they're growing their account. Yeah,
right. But it says like promoted by, or this is a promotional post. And then there's a click, you can say like learn more, or click to buy or shop. And that button, you can control where that goes.
Yeah.
Right. So I can use my brand referral bonus and send that traffic straight to my listing. So I can take this video that I had created on Join Brands, right? That the creator posts on their account of a TikTok that they made for a mom brand, right? That is for, pregnancy, right? Baby bumps, whatever. Okay. I'm running an ad, and the creator already wrote the copy, right? Because they posted on their TikTok account. They did the video. They posted all that stuff. You like this one. You can run an ad. You can run it straight to your Amazon listing. Now, anybody who sees that is going to actually see the video in use, right? So now all of a sudden they seen your product. They liked the video. They thought it was cool. And then they clicked through. So they already have some notion of what this product does. And so if they click through, they're going right through your brand referral link. You're sending off Amazon traffic. And the best part is I'm seeing click-through rates like up to like 2%. Okay. Yeah. I'm seeing CPCs as low as 12 cents.
Wow.
And, for $100, you can have like 100 clicks. It's incredible. So, and you're sending off Amazon traffic. So I don't think most people are taking advantage of this. It's hard to do independently, but we require all the creators when they upload a TikTok video on our account
to sign that off,
to give you the code to do Spark ads with.
Excellent. Yeah, so, that's good. That is good.
So that's pretty much one really unique thing. Like anybody's feel free to reach out to us. I don't think enough people are taking advantage of it, and especially brands that really want to show that they're going viral, because it does look like real organic traffic, and the creators are interacting with the comments like, oh, I've seen that product, or, oh, what do you think about it? And they can say, the creator will respond. I mean, you can as a brand too, but the creators, it's on the creator's page. So those are really cool.
So basically you fed the interest of the creator because they want to keep the momentum going, right? Because they're growing their account. They want other advertising coming in. Right. It's in their interest to interact with their own audience because they're going to do that anyway. You're running the ads, controlling the ad creative because that's already been signed off, but you control the copy, etc. You're then able to decide where, in terms of, you're tying it into TikTok shops as well, I'm assuming. Right. Yes. So you're selling on the platform as well. Yeah. So you've got that creative gateway mixed in with a funnel there in terms of being able to sell to their audience, yet you control most of the dynamics in and around the purchase.
Yeah, exactly. And not just TikTok. I mean, we're going to be launching Instagram Reels, so you can create campaigns for all these different things, right? We have an army of creators, 25,000 plus. They're more signing up every day. And you can see like their ratings and reviews and their portfolios, and you can even click to see their TikTok. So we let you go all the way through to see the creators' profiles without even paying a dime, right, on Join Brands, which is pretty cool. So there's no monthly fee or anything. It's free to sign up and check it out and create a campaign and even see all the creators, right? You only pay when you actually match one. So like basically you say, okay, I want to work with this particular creator that applied. Okay, cool. That's when we charge you.
Yeah, excellent. What's the best way that people can reach you?
Best way is just coming to Join Brands and chatting with our support. You can always reach me on LinkedIn if anybody wants to follow me there, or on Twitter. Those are generally the best ways. And, of course, big fan of you, Danny. You've done a fantastic job of just continuous content coming out. So it's been impressive to watch, because I've been around, as long as you, maybe longer, I'm not sure. And I keep a kind of low profile as well. But it's really cool to see like consistency and like great content and how you kind of cut through the weeds. So thank you for that and contributions.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys, thank you for joining us today. Ian, thank you for joining us. Sharon will be back here later on in the week. Take care of yourself and your family. Much love, and I'll